Hello everyone, my name is Griff, and today I'm going to be going over a few of the things that were added in the past couple of days. We have the mana spirals that were announced in this month in Dragalia Lost, we have a new banner, the lights focus, and we also have the director's response to feedback from August 30th, so this just takes place just before the this month in Dragalia Lost. But we're going to go in order of when they were announced, so we're going to go from the stuff from the 2nd, and then we'll move into stuff from yesterday, and move into stuff from this morning. So, the mana spirals. These mana spirals were added on the 2nd, and they were announced on the 1st, and this month under Lost, 3 units that were going to be added. The DPS sim has already been updated, that's why I waited a bit, just because I was thinking I can just wait for the DPS sim to be updated to see how these units were going to change. As you notice, Lucretia is currently the top of all of light, so that should be an indicator of how good this mana spiral is. But let's quickly look at it just fully. So, 3 affected adventurers: Lucretia, Luca, and Estelle. First, for Lucretia, empowering triplet, deals light damage to enemies directly ahead and increases the entire team's energy levels by 2 stages. When the user is energized, the area of effect of this skill is increased, and it increases the entire team's critical strike by 10% for 30 seconds. So, I believe, I'm going to quickly open the wiki. I believe that this is a new addition from her original ability, the spreading of the move. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to check right now. But I want to say for 100% sure, the changes that we have here to the the critical rate is new as well. So let's see. Yep, deals 3 hits and increases the entire energy by 1 stage. So this used to only increase by 1 stage, and it used to do just under 1,000 damage. But if we look at this now, it increases the entire team energy by 2 stages, not just 1. And then when energized, this skill is bigger, and it increases the entire team's critical rate by 10%. And it's the modifiers getting any change? Yes, the modifier actually got 300 damage on it more. So this is doing nearly double the damage it did before, and adding all the effects of the energize and the critical rate. So, really good change there. Crescendo Chorus increases the user's strength by 15% for 15 seconds, and increases the user's energy level by 3 stages. This originally was 10% for 10, and increases their energy by 2. Now it's an energy increase by 3. Still really low on the modifiers for 15 seconds, only 4,500. First skill is 3,500, so about 1,000 difference between the two. Honestly, still really good. Then we go into skill damage for her co-ability, and then her chain co-ability, energy equals inspiration 6. The user is attuned to light. When their energy level is increased, also increase their inspiration level by 1 stage. After activating this ability, when not activating again for 15 seconds, benefits the whole team. So, before the 70 MC even got announced, I 100% maxed her out for Thor, because Thor gives you energy every 5 seconds. So with Thor, you can also build inspiration. So now you have inspiration and energy stacking on top of each other, which is super beneficial. And even in Kit, she has her own way of generating energy with her first skill and second skill. And I believe she has another passive that also energizes her. But she has all these ways to get energy. She, on top of, if she has Thor, she's going to have even more ways to get energy. You're going to be getting energized whenever you come out of the dragon form. You're going to be getting inspiration levels every time you get energy within the 15-second time constraint of the cooldown of the Chinko ability. But still, she's going to be doing a lot of damage, especially with this first skill, it seems. As far as her abilities go, energize equals strength plus 25, increases strength by 25 for 15 seconds each time the user is energized. You're going to be cycling through energy so much with this build. You're just going to have energized almost. This will probably have 100% uptime, especially since it doesn't seem to have a cooldown on it. This will probably have 100% uptime. Opponent curse res, to be expected, Broken Punisher plus 35%, and we'll quickly look at what she had before. She had Broken Punisher plus 30, pretty basic, and she had 20 instead of 25 on this first ability. But all in all, super good mana spiral. Clearly, as you can see in the DPS increase, she's all the way up here. And yeah, It's just really good DPS increase. She has Tobias, I believe, for her strength buffs that she's getting, so they last longer in her like teammates. But all in all, super good unit now. I'm really glad because when she was released, she was kind of popular, but after that, she kind of became underwhelming. But I'm glad that she's back in the spotlight. Next, we have Luca. This is one of my favorite star units. His first, let's bring up his base form really quickly, so we have something to compare to. Something interesting about Luca that we'll get into is he is one of the first store units, I believe, to now have double full resists. We'll get into that in a second, but his first skill deals one shot of 77-1, light damage to the target and inflicts paralysis. This was his normal skill. Now it's updated to deal light damage to the target and inflict paralysis. So if we look at this now, a straight mod increase of this. For now, it does over 1,000 damage for 2,500 SP. Still pretty good. Still super good. Super usable. Second skill deals light damage to enemies in a line and dispels one buff from each target. Paralyzed foes take extra damage. So originally, this didn't have any of that. It was just straight damage. Now, it has an even greater SP cost, an even greater damage mod on the first hit. And also dispels and paralyzed foes take 1,500. So pretty good. 1,500 even for Punisher for 5k. It's kind of low, but it's still pretty good. The fact that he does dispel at all, I believe he's the only light unit currently to have dispel. Super useful. His chain ability and normal ability did not change. This is non-element based, so any unit that you can put him on the backline. Every unit will get plus 30% defense. Pretty cool. Now, going into his passives, full HP equals strength and paralyzing edge. Increases strength by 15% with a chance of inflicting paralyzed by 60% when HP is full. Originally, this was just full HP equals strength, and it was only 13%. Now, it's 15% along with the paralysis increase. Pretty good. Originally, he had 50% curse res and 25% poison resistance, but now he has 100% curse res and 100% poison resistance, and the curse res is potent. So he has full resist to everything. You know, you can bring him to Tartarus, go to any of the gates, which is super useful. Go into any of the portals. Super useful adventure. As far as DPS increase, I don't think he fared too well. He's still all the way down here. Right here. You know, it is what it is, but still, he's a pretty good utility unit, especially for a free unit. He's beating out some of the 3 and 4 stars. I think he's beating out any 5 stars anymore, yeah. But still pretty good. Not bad at all. Then we have Estelle, who was a 3-star, who had a 70 MC. She is a staff unit. So quickly bring up her page. Now the thing about Estelle is that originally in her kit, she had very basic abilities. Her first skill was a teammate most in need, and her second skill was a regen ability. But now, we're going to look at this for quickly a second. Restores HP to the team most in need and increases their max AP 15% for the remainder of the quest. Once the HP upgrades receives a limited HP recovery buff, effect is gained instead. So, now, instead of just healing the person most in need, she's also going to increase HP, like Lowen, which was super useful. This is only single target though, not like Lowen's, which was everyone on the team, so something to think about. Her second skill restores HP to all allies and continues healing them over the next 15 seconds. Same regen ability. The recovery potency went up for a little bit, and yeah, recovery potency went up twice a little bit. And on this, the recovery potency is the exact same, but it has the second effect. Core ability is the exact same, light HP and recovery potency, pretty standard. But now her passive is the Loving Hand. Originally this was just 4 strike deal plus 30%. Now increase 4 strike damage by 40% and skill HP rate by 8%, and immediate letters Guardian's Grace, which is her second skill, for use when the user's HP drops to 30%. Activating this effect will not activate again for 60 seconds. So every minute in a quest, she has the ability to get her second skill right back up, able to use it, able to go all out with it. Super useful. She has potent curse res and other curse res, which gives her 100% curse res, which she did not have before. She just had just the basic 50% that most 3-stars have, or 75% that most 3-stars have. But all in all, she's just a healer, not a super increase to anything with that, but that's just how she is. As far as other things on these characters, I think that really Lucretia is benefiting the most out of all of these, and Luca is benefiting a little bit, and Estelle's benefiting a little less than him, but all in all, Lucretia, super good unit. Talking about these units right now, there actually is the next banner, which is Light Focus, just all light units again, just like before. However, it does include Lucretia, Yutaka Kurin, and Taishi Gongzu. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend something on this unless you really need night units, but if you don't have Lucretia and you really want a strong light unit, she is there. Yutaka Kurin is there as well. He is not super high in the DPS sim, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think he's actually all the way down here. I can't find him now. Well, if I can't find him clear. Oh, there he is. Okay, so yeah, he's under Albert, and he's above Galliudin. So, he's alright. And the dragon isn't that good either. But, honestly, it's all light units. If you need light units, go for it. Finally, we're going to get into the response to player feedback that was published this morning. So on August 30th, the director replied to feedback players sent via in-game feature. These were read by Japanese voice actors. The feedback was chosen from July 6th to July 31st. And it tells you how to just give feedback. So, let's get into the feedback. I have not read this at all yet, so we're going to learn all about this together. We've received feedback that players have been using the latest adventures and unlocking mana spirals for their rosters, but they feel like the balance between enemy strength and adventure performance is a bit skewed. In co-op, the same adventure is being used over and over again, and many adventures and dragons are difficult to use, so players are requesting that the balance be adjusted. We strive to balance the quests in such a way that a variety of adventures can be used to clear them, but I think certain players who play co-op are mainly interested in whichever adventures can clear the quests easiest. Going forward, we hope to strike a balance between the sort of thing that happens as little as possible. We have some improvements planned in a future update. Thank you for your patience. Interesting. So here he's saying that a lot of the co-op, which I agree with, a lot of the co-ops are focused on getting clear time as fast as possible. There's a whole group of people who play co-op just to clear quickly. And he's saying, you know, people are asking for these balances and these balance adjustments, and really what he's saying is, well, no, they're asking it for it to be easier, and we're trying to get rid of this sort of disagreement in the fans where people are trying to just get out the easiest way possible. But they do have balance plans in the future. I'm all for this. Balance the game. As they said in this month in the Dragalia Lost, they're trying to bring everything up to the level of Shadow. So I'm down for it. Yeah, it seems really good so far. Let's go to the next one. Some players feel like their 5-star adventurers have become outclassed by a 4-star adventurer who has recently had their mana spiral unlocked, which is a shame because they spent valuable upgrade materials on the former. Making 4-star adventurers strong is fine in principle, but perhaps their mana power strength is a bit overtuned in practice. Certain adventurers may become extremely strong when used together in co-op properly. This is not the case for when they are alone, but there are players who know how to take advantage of this careful teamwork. If I may, I'd like to transition to a related topic. Currently, Shadow Tune adventurers and dragons are able to output much more damage than their counterparts. We've been adjusting the damage output ceiling for each element ever since the game's release. Even so, when compared to Shadow Tune adventurers with those of other elements, it's hard not to feel like the latter group is slightly lacking. This is another balance issue we plan to address in the upcoming update. Okay, so basically they're saying that people feel like certain 5-stars, probably 5-stars since release, are completely overcast by the 4-stars and their mana spirals, and they're saying, you know, they're not actually, but when people use them properly they can be, which I don't think that's correct. I think if they're just stronger, they're stronger. You know, some of these 4-stars are straight up better than the 5-stars. Like, Adamine is just a better wand than some of these other ones below her. You know, like, Shang Wu's ability is way better than Ananine's. Like, you're not gonna just go into that and say, oh well, I think that strictly the, Mana Sparrow. I mean, Fleur got a Mana Sparrow, and I don't even think she needed it. I mean, she was already tied with Mitsuhide, and then she got her Mana Sparrow. Actually, no, she didn't even get a Mana Sparrow, did she? No, she didn't. I don't know what I'm talking about. Even without a Mana Sparrow, she's already above all these other units. And imagine if they did give her a Mana Sparrow, which I think they might in the future, but I don't know why I thought she had a Mana Sparrow. Anyway, I do think there are 4 stars that are stronger than 5 stars. It's going to happen a lot. I don't think every character's strengths are in strictly DPS, but I think that the game favors it in a way that they are. So, it's a little bit unfortunate. Next, regarding the Doomsday Getaway raid event, some players thought the story was interesting and enjoyed logging in every day to read the latest episode. However, during the fight with the raid boss, it was difficult to understand her opening attacks, make it impossible to control the adventure in the first slot of your team. It would have been nice to know that beforehand, perhaps as part of the event tips or other information. And Okada says, the idea to have the raid boss turn adventurers, who you're controlling at the beginning of the quest, into a doll with her first attack, forcing you to use a different adventure. In the future, we attempt to include important details like this in the information and pictures provided in-game. So just telling people how the quest is going to work. Pretty basic. Some players express difficulty discerning the difference between the red and purple action markers that denounce the area's attack in the Agito uprising battle against Kaisen's Wrath and Aha and Otoho's Wrath, and hope to be able to customize these colors for themselves in the future. I understand that red and purple action markers may be difficult to discern among similar colors on an unknown terrain. During development, we checked their visibility and adjusted accordingly. We will check this mechanic even closer in the future. Okay, so now they're trying to change from red and purple attacks. I don't know. There is a way you can play the game on like I don't know if it's low settings or like a colorblind mode, but all of the like buff zones are just big yellow squares or circles of whatever they are. There's like no effects on them, and all the skill markers are super easy to see. So maybe something like that. I believe this is the last one. We have a question from us this time as well. We asked about plans for the 2nd anniversary of Dragalia Lost episode, and the big day will be here in under a month now. So we ask again, do you have anything more to share on this topic? Kata says, we are still busy with various preparations for the 2nd anniversary. As explained in the beginning of this episode, various balance adjustments will be made in the update, not only for adventures and dragons, but for the enemies you face as well, with the ultimate goal being to make the game more accessible for everyone. With that said, we strive to maintain the challenge of that these enemies present. Since there are too many of these large-scale names to change here, I kindly ask that you wait for the upcoming notification for further details. Around mid-September, we plan to revive the Fractured Futures raid event that we had last year during the 1st anniversary. You'll also be able to enjoy the story of the upcoming 2nd anniversary event even better if you are familiar with the stories of the main campaign and the past raid event. So I wholeheartedly recommend that players get caught up with the main campaign and participate in the raid event revival when they have the chance. We have a lot more updates in store for the 2nd anniversary, including some additional new features. This will be the biggest update ever, so I hope everyone will be looking forward to really taking in. We'll be able to share more around mid-September, so stay tuned. Okay, so more stuff in the next week or two. We already knew most of this because I already read the unofficial translation of this interview before on the channel, but now we have official translation. So yeah. It seems like the 2nd anniversary is just going to be a big balance change. It's going to be the biggest update the game's ever had. I hope they can really keep the game still in a difficult state without making it too easy, but being able to, have it be a thing that everyone enjoys. But yeah, that's going to be all for me. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.